I want to tell you about a packaging distributor I know. Great guy. Been calling on the same account for 17 years. Golfed with a plant manager. Their kids went to the same school. They sat 3 rows apart in church on Sundays. When that buyer needed anything, a machine, material, problem solved, the distributor got the call. Every single time. Then one Friday, his guy cleaned out his desk. Retired. Monday morning, a new plant manager walks in with a mandate: review all vendor relationships. 6 weeks later, the distributor was gone. $140,000 in revenue, gone. Not because of price, not because of service, not because he did a single thing wrong, because the only thing holding that account in place was a person, and that person left. If you're a packaging distributor or a manufacturer who depends on distributors to sell your products, what I'm about to walk you through should keep you up at night, because there are 3 phone calls that end everything. And I've watched every single one of them play out over my 35 years in this industry. Let me give you all 3 scenarios, and I guarantee every distributor watching this has lived through at least one of them. Call number 1 is the retirement. Your guy, the one you've built relationships over for 15 years, retires, or gets promoted out of purchasing, or takes a job somewhere else. Overnight, the person who made you the go-to supplier is gone. His replacement doesn't know you, doesn't owe you anything, doesn't care that you were at the Christmas party in 2019. He's got his own contacts, his own preferences, or worse, he's been told to review all vendor relationships as part of his onboarding. You just went from trusted partner to line item under review. Phone call number 2 is the new hire. Company brings in a new VP of operations or a new director of procurement. Someone from outside hired specifically to shake things up and find efficiencies. This person has zero loyalty to existing relationships. In fact, their entire mandate is to question those relationships. They want to make a name for themselves, show the board they were worth the hire. And the fastest way to demonstrate value in a new role: renegotiate, rebid, or eliminate the vendors and distributors the previous person had in place. You're not a trusted partner to this particular person. You're a target. You're the low-lying fruit they're going to cut to prove they're earning their salary. Number 3 is the consultant phone call. This is the one that makes distributors break out in a cold sweat, and it should. The company hires a supply chain consultant. Maybe business is down. Maybe they're preparing for a sale. Maybe a private equity firm wants to optimize. Whatever the reason, a consultant walks in with a spreadsheet, zero emotional attachment to any existing relationship, and one job only: find cost savings. The distributor is the single most obvious target on that spreadsheet. The consultant doesn't care about the golf games, doesn't care about the 15-year relationship, doesn't care that you've always been there on time, on budget. The consultant cares about the margin between what the manufacturer charges and what the end user pays. And the distributor is sitting right in the middle of that margin, looking very expensive and very replaceable. I've watched all 3 of these scenarios play out with the distributors who were tight with ownership. Not just the buyer, the owner, the founder, the family, and they still got whacked. Because when the consultant's report hits the board table in the morning, showing $200,000 in annual savings by going direct, personal relationships don't survive. They just don't. Now here's the question nobody in packaging distribution wants to confront. When you strip away the personal relationship, what's left? What's the distributor's actual value to the end customer, independent of who they know? In many cases, not all, but many, the honest answer is not much. The distributor isn't manufacturing anything, isn't engineering anything, isn't providing technical expertise the manufacturer cannot provide directly. In a growing number of cases, they're essentially a pass-through with a markup. The friendly face between the manufacturer and the buyer, adding cost without adding any capability. Now that's worked for decades because access then was the value. The distributor knew the buyer. The manufacturer didn't. It was symbiotic. but access is no longer scarce, and that changes everything. Personnel changes are the first threat. They're the obvious one. They've always existed. But there's a second, newer, quieter, and in many ways more dangerous threat because nobody in the distribution world is paying attention to it. The way buyers find and evaluate packaging suppliers has fundamentally changed. The next generation of procurement professionals, operation VPs, supply chain directors, they're not picking up the phone and calling the distributor that their predecessor did. They're researching. They're asking AI tools specific questions about capabilities, certifications, lead times, regional advantages, compliance expertise. They're evaluating options before they ever talk to anyone. And when they search, the distributor is invisible because the distributor's value was never built on searchable expertise. It was built on a handshake, a golf game, showing up at the right time with the right relationship. AI doesn't care about your golf handicap. AI cares about specific, detailed, verifiable information about capabilities. And the distributor, in most cases, has none of that to offer. The manufacturer does. So the distributor is being squeezed from both sides. The old threat now changes. The new threat, buyers who bypass the relationship entirely. And almost no one in the distribution space is preparing or prepared for either one. Now, I don't want to be entirely fatalistic here because there are distributors who will survive this shift, but they're the ones who are honest about what's happening and willing to change. The distributors who will make it are the ones building value that exists independent of any single relationship. They're specializing, not trying to be all things to all people, but becoming the undeniable expert in a specific niche. They're creating content that demonstrates genuine technical expertise, not product catalogs, not pictures, real expertise, and it's available. They're making themselves findable in AI search through detailed, specific, authoritative information about the solutions they provide. They're building a brand and reputation that a new buyer would discover and respect, even if they've never met the distributor personally. In other words, they're building something that doesn't evaporate when the best contact leaves and cleans out his desk. And this isn't just a distributor problem. If you're a packaging manufacturer depending on distributors as your primary sales channel, I need you to hear this. I was talking with a packaging equipment manufacturer recently. Sharp guy, knows his product. One good machine sale makes his quarter. When I asked how he gets those sales, he mentioned distributors. A handful of smaller, regional distributors who are tight with the companies that need his equipment. It works. Today, it works. But when I asked what happens when one of those distributors loses their key contact, the conversation got quiet. No backup plan, no direct visibility with the end user, no content, no digital presence, no AI findable information. That's not a sales strategy. That's a hope strategy. The manufacturers are thinking long-term of building direct authority, direct findability, a presence that exists independent of any distributor relationship. So that when it inevitable change behavior, when the consultant walks in, when the new VP starts reviewing vendors, the manufacturer is already known, already trusted, already on the buyer's radar. Now again, so what do you actually do about this? Look, I've spent 35 years in this industry and I built my own career on relationships. I respect them deeply, but relationships are people and people move on. What I help packaging manufacturers and distributors do is build sales visibility that doesn't depend on a single relationship, a single contact, or a single phone call. That means building presence that's findable by AI tools, not Google, but AI, by the next generation of buyers, by the procurement director who's never heard your name. It means creating specialized, authoritative content that positions you as the expert in your niche. So when someone searches for what you do, you and your company show up. It means having a strategy that survives the retirement, the new hire, and the consultant. That's exactly why I built the Specialized Packaging Marketplace. It's an authority that gives manufacturers and distributors a platform where their expertise is visible, searchable, and positioned to be found by the people who need it most. So let me ask you directly, if you're a packaging distributor, what are you building that outlasts your next phone call? If you're a packaging manufacturer, depending on distributors, what happens to your revenue when your distributor's best relationship ends? Can a buyer find you without going through someone else? If the answer to any of those questions makes you uncomfortable, the clock is ticking for you too. So here's what I want you to do. Call to action number 1, drop a comment below. Tell me which phone call you've lived through, the retirement, the new hire, and the consultant. I read through every single one. Number 2, if this hit home, share this video with somebody in your network who needs to hear it. And number 3, if you want to talk about building visibility that doesn't depend on a single relationship, my number and website are in the description. Let's have a conversation. The golf courses and the church pews are not going anywhere, but the business model built entirely on top of them, that clock is running and it's not slowing down. Like I said, I hope you liked the video. Please like it, please share it, and again, forward it to anybody you believe it'll help. Thanks.